Alright you lot, a bit of behind the scenes action here. My desk isn't usually this messy and I'll explain why it is in a second, but I thought I would just give you a sneak peek of the realer side of my videos. I even had to top up my nail varnish before filming because the changing weather makes my nails so dry. And just showing how I set up my overhead camera. I didn't end up using it in the end, I didn't really like the lighting on this one, but I'll leave a link on screen and below to the video that taught me how to get my camera rigged up like this. So this is literally how I left my desk last night. Normally I would tidy it before going to bed, or at least first thing in the morning, especially before filming, but I just felt like the state of it was kind of indicative of how I was feeling going into today's video. A little bit all over the place. And I've recently had a lot of encouraging comments saying, you know, just do what you're comfortable with, don't put pressure on yourself to make perfect videos all the time. And I realised that that feeling of trying to get everything right and wanting to put out content that I think people would like rather than just creating for the sake of creating is one of the major things that actually stops me from filming. And don't get me wrong, I love every video that I put out and I enjoy filming them, but whenever a video is late, like today, I was supposed to upload yesterday, it's because I've spent days and days trying to come up with a great idea for a painting that people will really like and just find visually impressive. And I would love to create art like that all the time, but realistically I'm not there yet. So I realised today that I can just show myself doing what I would typically be doing, and I'm sure people would appreciate that as well. So what I'm doing today follows on from a practice I was doing yesterday. I've been really desperate to work on my landscapes. Obviously I love painting landscapes, and I think part of why I like it so much is because I do think I'm quite good at it when I'm going for a detailed, realistic look. The problem is that I kind of prefer a more simplistic style of painting, almost impressionistic, where a landscape is reduced to blocks of colour and shapes and lines and a few details suggesting the thing, but all of it quite stylised as well as being quite accurate. To explain what I'm saying, I've left some links below to artists that I think do it really well. And looking at their work, I've been doing loads of studies and I just can't figure out how to do it myself. I'm not great at simplifying things and I don't really know where to start. So I've been taking different approaches over the last couple of days, and today my first approach was to block out areas of colour with washes and hopefully build more opaque layers over with details and shading and whatever. But it really didn't go well, and I didn't trust that if I kept going with it, it would start to make sense. So I had a break and I watched Catfish, and I came back to start again with a different approach. By this time my shoulder was really starting to hurt from sitting at my desk from the past few days, so I used this. It's like an in-bed table that folds up as well. I love it. I'll leave info on it in the description. But the angle of it really helped with my neck and shoulder pain, and I switched from listening to music out of my speakers to headphones because it just feels more immersive. When I'm painting and listening to music, I keep my phone in one of those workout armbands strapped to my arm just to keep it and the wire of my headphones out of the way. And yeah, I started again taking a more detailed approach, which seems kind of, counterintuitive. Like more effort to achieve a simplistic look, but like I said, I'm experimenting with approaches and I felt like I'd tried everything, so I had to try this as well. It's kind of like how it's harder to perfect a no makeup look, or like a messy, effortless hairstyle, because you have to do the style and then try even harder to make it look like you haven't really tried it all. Also, I'm really not that familiar with flat brushes in painting, and I'm still trying to figure out how to best use them. If anyone has any tips or knows of any videos about flat brush painting and also painting landscapes or simplifying paintings, adopting a more impressionistic style, please let me know. On top of studying other artists, I also invested in James Gurney's instructional video Gouache in the Wild that he sells on his website, where he talks about techniques and things in plein air. I love his style of landscapes as well, and I was just hoping to be able to learn some things and adopt them into my practices. I definitely recommend checking it out. He has a lot of the paid video broken up into chunks to view for free on his YouTube channel, so I'll leave a link for that. I'd love to be able to get to a point where I can whack out a painting on location and not spend all day in it. This painting I did from a photo. My boyfriend is getting into photography and he really has an eye for interesting compositions, or like this one, really harmonious colours in day-to-day life. When I need inspiration, I just look through his Dropbox or wherever he saves his pictures, and I just nab the ones that take my fancy to paint another time. I think we have the same love for buildings and harsh lines and angles, and this photo that I chose today doesn't necessarily show that, but I loved the colours and the shadow cast by the direct sunlight, which I think turned out to be the most effective part of this painting. This second try was definitely still a struggle, but I did feel like I made more progress with it. There are certain parts of the background that are just the look I was going for. What ruins it for me, in fact it doesn't ruin it because the painting still gives the overall impression that I wanted, but the car is just a bit, I don't know if I've ever painted a car before, so I understand why trying to paint it and trying to paint it more stylistically at that wasn't hugely successful. But I'm looking forward to carrying on tomorrow with some more practice. Hopefully I'll have some stuff to post on Instagram to show you my progress. In terms of starting my new video series, I'm going to listen to what you guys have said and take my time with it and do what comes naturally when it comes naturally. So thanks for all your suggestions, and I will keep you posted on that. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I've realised now that this more realistic view of things is in a way a better video to make, or just not something to shy away from. I still want to make masterpieces though. I will see you next time for whatever I'm in the mood for, I guess, and thank you all for your encouragement and support. Bye.